Hello everybody, my name is Here to you, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Gaming. Today we'll be playing through The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, and we'll be doing it in live stream form. So what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a bit of a tour of this game. So first of all, we'll be playing through this playthrough. Now I could play through the other one, but that one's at pretty much the end game, so I don't want to do too much of that one. But we'll be playing around with this one to give a bit of a tour of this world, as well as demonstrate the chamber dungeons. Now, you might be wondering why I'm on level 6 of this game, but I only have 3 hearts, because they added the ability to do a 3-heart run in this game, so that's pretty awesome. So I've been doing a 3-heart run of Link's Awakening on my own time. I might stream something like that at some point in the future. I don't know if I will do that at some point, but it's certainly a possibility, because I love Link's Awakening. So, for those of you who don't know, Link's Awakening is my all-time favorite game of all time. I also go back and forth between that and Earthbound. But lately, I've been kind of in a Link's Awakening mindset right now, so throughout this entire stream, I'm going to be gushing over this game's awesomeness, and how amazing it is, and how perfect it is, and how everybody should play it forever. Like, not even exaggerating, I've probably replayed through this game at least 40 times. So yeah, you could probably say that I'm kind of a big fan of this game. Alright, so one thing that I absolutely have to say is I absolutely love the art style in this game. Like, I know some people weren't that big of a fan of the more toy-like look of this game. I think it works really well for what they were going for, because this is exactly how I imagined Link's Awakening would look if it was in a 3D environment, so this game is honestly just a dream come true for me, because I replayed this game so much as a kid, and having an HD remake of it is just, this makes me so happy. Alright, so as we go through this area, let's read through the chat after I get into a safe place. This probably isn't the safest place in the world right now, because there's that bomb jerk. Alright, this should be good. The James Rose says, Link's Awakening, heart emoji. Aww. We all love Link's Awakening. Alright, so as we go across this area, I'd like to explain a little bit something that's kind of interesting about this game. So, earlier this year, I was kind of thinking about maybe doing a Let's Play of this version, because even though we did do Majora's Mask 3D recently, I just kind of want to do a lot of Zelda games right now. Because it's been way too long. It was way too long between Wind Waker and Majora's Mask 3D, so I kind of wanted to do another Zelda Let's Play. And I was very close to actually doing a Let's Play of this game, but I decided against it because this remake only came out, like, I think last year or something like that. So I guess I already got that one. So I didn't want to do this Let's Play too soon to the game coming out. And also, I'd already been working on Breath of the Wild for so long, and the planning process of that Let's Play was pretty much done already. So I didn't want that one to take too long. So yeah, so that's fairly noteworthy. Now, something pretty interesting about this game is that they added some more warp points in this area. So this right here, this was not here before. There were originally only, I believe, 5 warp points in the game. On the Game Boy version, there was this one, this one, I think there was another one over here. I want to say there were 5, but there were probably only 4. So now that we're over this way, let's go inside the chamber dungeon. Who's texting me while making videos? I really gotta remember to put that on silent. But now we can say Dumpy! Hey there, company's always welcome. You look like you've been through a lot. Sit down and tell me about it. Well, you see, I was bored this morning, so I decided to stream my favorite game of all time. Oh, that's quite the tale. I know, right? I'm gonna sell the movie rights. Basically, what he's doing right here is whenever you complete a dungeon and you go back to Dampe's shack, you get some new chambers. Now, the chambers are the individual rooms of the dungeons throughout the game. Now, I really like the chamber dungeons in this game, but there is one thing that I gotta say that I'm not that big of a fan of. The thing is, you have to replay through the dungeon itself to be able to get the chambers in it. Now, there are a few of them that you can also get from the stores in the game. But the thing is, a lot of the coolest rooms in the entire game are in the later dungeons, so if you really want to play around with the chamber dungeons, you really can't do much until later in the game, and at that point, if you haven't done any progress to get the heart pieces in this place, you're kind of spending the last 2 hours or so of the playthrough just going through this area. And that is one thing that I'm not that big of a fan of with the chamber dungeons in this game, but that doesn't matter. This game is still awesome. Alright, so basically what this is asking us to do is it's going to want us to put 2 treasure chest rooms right here. So we'll take care of that. What's a good room we could place there? I want to place one that has like a forward pathway thing, because I think that'd be a good central hub. What's that one again? Okay, let's go with this one instead. No, that's going to require lockies. Let's go with this one. Alright, so now we're going to want an L-shaped one. Let's go with that one. Who is texting me? Go away. Mid-boss would be pretty fun too. And we can have one like this. It's probably the perfect one. See, I really like this because I've played through this game so many times that it kind of feels like I'm playing a randomizer in a way, like a Link's Awakening randomizer or something along those lines. I don't think there's actually one available yet. I know they have little randomizers for like Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, but I don't think that they have one for Link's Awakening yet. So that's kind of interesting. I can't put that there because there needs to be a lock. Alright, so now we're going to need to make another room that has a staircase on it. Luckily, we saw one not too long ago. What's a fun one? What is a fun one? Yeah, how about this instead? Oh, that uses a treasure chest. Okay, well, we'll put that right there. And the last one, we'll have another treasure chest. That's going to be shiny and fancy and stuff. So, one thing worth mentioning about this game is they did kind of get rid of one of the best ruby grinding spots in this game, but they made one in here that's a bit more effective, but it just takes longer to be able to actually do. So a little bit later in the chamber dungeons, how do I get out of here again? There we go. My TV is a little too loud, I apologize for that. A little bit later, we unlock the ability to make ruby rooms, and when we do that, we're able to make it so that we can have a we can go into a room that will spawn a bunch of rubies. And the thing about this is that more rubies will appear if you have a bunch of rooms all across the chamber dungeon with a bunch of treasure chests. So if you're able to make a really quick dungeon that you're able to finish, but also has a bunch of other treasure chests located elsewhere in the place, then you'll be able to get a bunch of rubies that way. It's a lot faster and more effective than the ruby grinding spot in the original game, because the best spot in the original game was to go through the color dungeon, because there was one room where a bunch of rubies would spawn, but getting into the color dungeon itself was kind of a pain because you had a bunch of enemies you had to deal with. So I think this method is a bit more effective, although, like I said, we can't really do much about it until a little bit later. So it does require a bit more effort, but it's totally worth it. So after we destroy the keys in this place, we'll be able to go up here. And oh no, spiky things are doom and destruction and death. It's not too bad. So how the chambers actually work when it comes to treasure chests is that you can have a bunch of treasure chests and things like that, and every chest will have a key, depending on how many locks there are. So, there's the master key up there, which we can't really do much about right now, but we're probably going to go through the staircase anyway, because this takes us to the other area. This looks like the face shrine pathway that led right before the dungeon boss guy thing. One thing that kind of throws me off from time to time is that the keys don't move the way they should. The keys always moved in a set pattern in the original game, but they don't do that in this one. It always throws me off. Go over here, destroy the Shy Guy, and a treasure chest will appear, and it's super shiny. I like shiny. So I think the other playthrough on this profile has that dungeon I was talking about with the ruby grinding, so maybe a little bit later I can demonstrate that. Haha, we made it go all circly. Hey. Alright, let's go this way. Ah, this game is just so pretty. We can see the lighting on the torch and things like that. We can see the details on the rocks. And this game is pretty. I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's try that again. Now, this version also has like a lot of really great quality of life improvements as well. Because even though it never really bothered me that much, it did bother a lot of people that you only had 2 buttons on that you can equip your items with. One of which could be the sword and things like that. So now they did it. Now they changes it a little bit so that some of your items are now permanently equipped onto a certain button. Like the A button, whenever you're next to a rock or something like that, that will become your power bracelet. That was an item you had to equip in the original game. And the Pegasus boots are now the ZL button. Yay, we destroyed you! Clap for joy. Now, if there's one thing I had to say negatively about this game, is that I don't like that you can't use the D-pad to move. That's such a minor nitpick, but honestly, that's one thing that kind of bothers me, because I want to be able to play this game with an SNES controller. I know that's incredibly silly, but I really, really, really wish you could control this with an SNES controller, but you can't, and it makes me sad. Alright, so we can use the magic powder to destroy these guys. I was trying to be fancy, but it didn't work. Yeah, you can use magic powder on those guys to turn them into fairies. Then you can bottom them up, because there are empty bottles in this game. They weren't in the original one, but now they're here, and it's awesome. But going back to what I was saying about treasure chests, the thing about the treasure chests is that they'll always have small keys depending on how many locked doors there are in the dungeon. And the very last treasure chest that you'll open up in the dungeon will have the boss key. So you do have to open up every treasure chest, so you definitely want to keep that in mind if you want to get through these dungeons quickly. You don't want to make it so that it takes forever to actually get through every treasure chest. And we defeated the evil demon cheeseburger. I always call him a cheeseburger, but he has little green things on the side of it that makes it look like lettuce, so like maybe it would be like a garden burger or something like that. I don't know. What? Watching you down there gave me an idea for a new challenge. It's ready whenever you're ready. What are you here for? Now, is there another one we could make? Ooh, we can make a staircase. That's pretty fancy. So, going back to the idea of me possibly doing a Let's Play of this game, which I probably will someday, not gonna lie, I probably will end up doing a Let's Play of this game because Link's Awakening is my favorite game ever. So, one thing that I'm trying to figure out is how I'm going to handle the chamber dungeons, because I want to show off every single one of them, but I also don't want it to take forever. Because there's a lot of chamber dungeons in this, and like I said, most of the cooler rooms you only get towards the end of the game. So, there's one thing that I want to figure out whenever I do eventually let's play this game. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure out something at some point. Maybe sort of kind of perhaps. Do I not have a staircase for this? That's kind of unfortunate. Maybe one down here. Yes, there is. We can use that. And then we can go back over here. Do that. We used that one in the previous room. The previous dungeon. Let's use this one instead. But that requires a locked door. Let's get a closer look. Let's use this one. And there's a frog in the background, so if you hear ribbiting, then that's probably what that is. No, I don't want to use that one. Let's use this one. And the last one will have a treasure chest. Well, boss run fight. Let's go with this one. And now the dungeon is ready. I made it myself. Are you proud of me? And return to the menu. Alrighty then. So now we're taking care of all that. We're in this video off here. I'm just kidding. So, as I was planning out the 12 Days of Gaming this year, I was thinking about making this a pre-recorded video like most of the other ones that we've done this year. And I was very close to doing that. But I decided not to do it because, one, I never recorded it. And B, we already did a Link's Awakening video in the previous lineup for the 12 Days of Gaming. So I think it would have been a bit more interesting to do a live stream instead. So, I don't know, maybe if we play Link's Awakening for a third time on another year lineup thing, maybe that will be like a pre-recorded video or something like that. So, owie, that hurt my feelings and the rest of my body. And now the upstairs neighbor dogs are getting super loud. I might need to mute the microphone if they keep being like that. Yep, muting microphone. Of course, after I mute the microphone, they stop barking. Alright, now we can go over here. And there's a treasure chest we can open, and there's more rubies. You got 20 rubies. Joy! I believe the rubies you get in the dungeon will carry over once you leave, because otherwise that one ruby trick that I mentioned earlier won't work. But now we want to do is I want to wait for these jerks to stop moving around. What I like doing is I like waiting until they're all kind of grouped together. Well, that did not work at all. Let's try resetting that room. That did not work at all. Okay, we got the blue. Now! Yay! We did the thing. So now we can go over here, open up the treasure chest, and get our sweet, sweet wood. But I don't feel like walking all the way back. Walking is lame. So, we're over here and play the ocarina. Warp to the entrance. Oh yeah. So now we go over this way. We only have one heart left, so might be a good idea to use the fairy in a bottle. Ah! That was a spiky thing and it almost hurt me. So we go over this way. And oh no, the boss of this dungeon is a demon staircase! Die! 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 So, now we can go over here, and we're going to be facing the most difficult boss in the history of anything ever. Like, this is legitimately difficult. I've never been able to beat it. It's not that hard. Like, I can literally beat this twice in less than a minute on the original version. It's a little bit trickier on this one, because the boss does have a few more attacks. And the way that the water physics work in this game makes it so that you can't spam attack him quite easily. But this is still a joke of a boss fight. Like, I can't quite beat him multiple times in less than a minute on this one, but yeah, this one is like still really, really easy. And it looks like the cute little mini fish. Like, it looks like they spawn more frequently in the remake, so that's something that's pretty interesting as well. Stupid dogs upstairs, shut up. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for actually making a dungeon in this video. So after we take care of this, we'll be swapping over to the magical land of alternate save file. So we're going to be quitting this area, and it's worth mentioning that you can technically save your levels. You can share them with friends. Unfortunately, this is locked behind Amiibo, so you can only really share with friends that you actually go to their house with. Like, you can save your dungeons to your Amiibo, take the Amiibo to your friend's house, and then they can play your dungeons and things like that. I really wish that there was a way you can, what am I trying to say? Share them online, like a Mario Maker, but they're probably waiting on that for, like, a proper Zelda Maker game or something like that. Which I'd be down for. I'd love a Zelda Maker. Whoops. That was, forget you saw that, because that certainly wasn't an endgame spoiler. Whoopsie. Well, it wasn't too much, so it's not that big of a deal, but I do apologize for that if anybody's watching this who hasn't seen the last dungeon. So we're going back inside Dompe's shack, and we can go over here. Now, the thing is, growing up, I always thought his name was Damp, but that's not the case. His name is Dompe, and I have to kind of, like, pay attention slightly more than usual whenever I'm remembering his name and things like that. So, yeah, it's something that's kind of interesting, somewhat, sort of, kind of. Alright, so I'm gonna click away from this screen real quick so I can find the dungeon I was looking for. Found it! Alright. So, yeah, these are the two open dungeons that I've made. I haven't really spent a whole lot of time making dungeons that didn't have any limitations, because we have a bunch of ones like here, and there's a bunch of dungeons, so I kind of didn't really feel the need to make my own. So, yeah, this is the Shrine of Lady Gyarados and the Labyrinth of Lady Gyarados. And this is the one that I was talking about a moment ago. Like, you can see how massive it is, but we beat it in like 40 seconds. So let's play through this one. I haven't played it in a while, so I don't remember exactly everything about this one. So I could probably beat it faster if I, cared. And the really cool thing about this one is that they have a timer on the side, so that if you want to, you can challenge your friends to see who can beat these faster. And the really cool thing about this is a remnant of an idea that they wanted to do with the original Zelda game. They really wanted to make it so that... you go away. They really wanted to do an idea that would take advantage of the Famicom disk system's ability to rewrite data. So basically what they were going to do was that they were going to have a mode in the original Zelda game for the Famicom where one player would make a dungeon and the other one would play it. During playtesting, however, they found that actually playing through the dungeon itself was a lot more fun than making them, which is why that idea never returned in a future Zelda game. But it kind of returns in a way in this one, so that's really, really cool. Now, I'm really glad that it's really cool when they're able to bring back ideas like that they weren't able to do in the past, and I kind of wish they did that more, because they have a lot of really cool ideas for in Zelda games that they never return and things like that. Alright, and we defeated you. Hello, Elky Smiley Face, you're playing Breath of the Wild. You get a shout out in this video. Alright, so let's see if we can do that a little bit faster. So this is what I was saying a moment ago when I was saying that you can make a really massive dungeon, but as long as you don't have too many treasure chests in the area, you can beat it very quickly. So, we got the treasure chest in the second room. Now, I probably could have made this dungeon just a little bit bigger because I believe there's a few spaces that were left open and things like that. So, that is one thing that I probably could have done just a little bit better. But, c'est la vie. That's French for something. And I fell in lava. No, that's not good for my complexion. Who is texting me? Okay, if that keeps happening, I'm going to put this phone on mute because I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed by that. The boomerang is going to be your best friend forever when you're going through this area so that you can get a bunch of rubies. They're going to be super shiny and things like that. So we can grab those ones and then go up here. And one thing I do appreciate about this game is that in the original game, you had to permanently give up an item to get the boomerang. You don't have to in this one, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's go in there. And oh no, it's the demon cheeseburger. Die! I said die! Yay! We destroyed you and it was awesome. Oh yeah. Alright, so I think that's going to be a good place to wrap it up for the chamber dungeons. I did not want to arrange, I want to get out of here. Alright, let's quit and leave. So I'm going to move away from the gameplay screen for a moment so I can get back to where I was on this save file. So you don't have to see too many more spoilers that are evil and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully that trick can help you with this game because there's a lot more things in this version that require rubies than in the original one. Because to get to 100% completion, you have to get all the chamber dungeons to get the last heart pieces and things like that. Which a lot of them are only found in shops and they are very, very expensive. So hopefully this trick will be able to help out anybody who needs a little bit more advice and stuff like that. Alright, so we're going to play just a little bit longer in this version before we switch over to the Game Boy version. Now, when we play the Game Boy version, just a reminder for those who haven't seen the Twitter thingy, we're not going to be doing too much story stuff in either versions of these. The Game Boy version, when we play that, we're going to be demonstrating a glitch. So keep that in mind when we switch over to that version. Now the reason why I wanted to come over this way is that if we go in here, we can demonstrate some new stuff that's pretty cool. So we go this way. Marion is not here. I was kind of hoping she was so that I could talk to her and things like that. Like, okay, as we go across this area, I'm just going to wander around for a moment. I was going to be going up here to play a minigame, but I want to tell a story as we go across this place. So PAX Fest 2019, that was the last video game convention that I was able to go to before the the thing. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to go to a video game convention since then. I'm planning out a trip later in this year that I'm really hoping goes through. But the last PAX that I went to had a demo for Link's Awakening, and I was really looking forward to it because I absolutely love this game, and I was really looking forward to playing this game on Switch. The thing you have to know when it comes to video game conventions is the bigger games are hard to get into. Like, if you want an example, Final Fantasy VII Remake, you had to actually get tickets to get into the booth to play that one. Now, it wasn't like one of those things where you had to pay extra for it. You just had to show up early to get like a playtime to be able to go into the booth because there were a lot of people looking forward to that game. So yeah, there were a lot of people looking forward to that one, and with the Nintendo booth, it was kind of a similar story. Ah! Secret Seashell! I guess I'd never picked that one up. But yeah. With Nintendo booths, it's not that bad at PAX East, but at PAX West, the lines are always really, really hard to get into because they reach the booth capacity really quickly because of how small the convention center is. They reach the capacity very quickly. So basically, if you want to play any big games, go to PAX on Monday because there's not a whole lot of people there and you'll have a lot more opportunities to be able to do that. So my advice, if you ever go to PAX or anything like that, is spend the first couple days doing stuff like watching panels or the tournaments or things like that, or just having fun like that. But wait until Monday to really play the big games that you're looking forward to. Now, obviously, if you can get into the game sooner, then by all means go for it, because there's really no reason not to try. But basically, long story short, it was really, really hard to get into the booth for Link's Awakening. Like, I remember on the first day, I was trying to... Like, I was going back there every once in a while to see if the booth had opened up, but it was always just barely closed by the time that I got back. And I felt bad because there was this one guy at the booth who I kept talking to, asking when he knew the booth was going to be open. And I always felt bad for that because I kind of felt like I was bugging him, but he was always really nice whenever I talked to him and to ask about that. And right before the convention hall closes, I go back one last time and the booth is closed. They say that it's completely closed for the day and I'll have to come back tomorrow. So I'm kind of bummed out because I've been waiting all day and I wasn't able to play Link's Awakening. So I sit against the wall and just kind of play Link's Awakening on my 3DS while I try to think about what I could do next, because there wasn't a whole lot of time to go play any other games. While I do that, the guy walks by me and sees me playing Link's Awakening, and he's like, you know what? Come with me. So I follow him, and there's just barely enough space for me to go into the booth, and he lets me play Link's Awakening. And I remember that was just like an amazing feeling. I was so thankful to him afterwards. And after that, there was also a little bit more time to be able to play the Luigi's Mansion 3. There's a really awesome lady who also invited me over there after I was done playing Link's Awakening, because there's just a little bit more time left. So that's probably like one of my favorite PAX memories ever. Like, that entire trip in general is probably like one of my favorite, that's probably like my absolute favorite trip to PAX, because of that Link's Awakening experience, and there's also the fact that I was able to reunite with one of my friends in college at that trip. I was able to meet some of my favorite YouTubers, and I got to play Earthbound on the CRT, which is really cool. And those were the ramblings of an old gator. One thing I gotta say that I hope I improve on in future streams and things like that is I'm kind of noticing that my stories like that kind of ramble on for a while. I do apologize for that. I would like to get better about that with streams going forward. Like, I remember earlier this year I was wondering if I was going to even bother continuing to stream at all, because streams in the past, like, I remember they started off a bit rough because the audio quality was absolute garbage, and I just wasn't that good at streaming to begin with. But this year's kind of been like a kind of a turning point, because I've been enjoying streaming a lot more. It's happened a lot more on the channel throughout the year. So who knows, maybe throughout 2021 we'll be able to continue streaming and things like that. Streams in general are not going to be like a big focus on the channel. The big focus will always be Let's Plays, but this is just a thought that I've had. James Earl says, such a cool story, sounds like an awesome booth guy. He was. That trip was just awesome. How about some fishing, little buddy? I'll only charge 10 rubies. Okay, can I just say, I love this guy's character design. He has an amazing mustache and his nose is massive. He kind of looks like Mario, like a Mario-like character who was fishing. Like, I don't know, maybe this could be like Mario's long-lost third brother or something like that. Alright, so I'm going to be demonstrating fishing just a little bit because they made a couple changes to this version. I've already gotten most of the rewards in this area already, so there's not much left to show here. But there is an empty bottle at the bottom of the lake that you would be able to get if you weren't me and you were halfway through the game already. Button mash, button mash, button mash, button mash, button mash! No! You stupid fish! You stupid fish! You will be my dinner and you will like it! So, Yeah, the button mashing technique from the original game, it doesn't work that well in this one. You gotta be a bit more careful. Like, when they're going like that, you wanna let go of the button. And just look at Link's face, it's so cute, I love this game. You land a little fish, just like you. It's small, but has plenty of fight. It's 13.27 each runt. You gotta dream bigger than that. A fish like that's worth, let's see here, 13 rubies. Is there something caught in the fish's mouth? Oh no. Please tell me that doesn't give me a heart piece. No! Turning off the game, turning off the game. Don't let that save, don't let that save! If I screwed up my 3-heart run, I'm not gonna be happy. Please tell me that I didn't screw up the 3-heart run. Please, I'm asking nicely. Come on. Okay. Whew, it was just an autosave. Alright, well, we didn't really do that much to explore the world, but that's basically all that I wanted to demonstrate on the Nintendo Switch version anyway. So, yeah, I definitely want to Let's Play the Nintendo Switch version someday. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon, though, because we're still in the middle of Breath of the Wild, and I kind of don't want to have two... I kind of don't want to have two big Zelda games on the channel at the same time. Link's Crossbow Training was an exception because I was only 9 episodes. We could beat it in a little over a week, and things like that. So, yeah, Link's Awakening is definitely something I want to do someday, but it's probably not going to happen for a little while. As unfortunate as that is, because I want to Let's Play this game right now. You know what? Screw everything else that we're doing on the channel. Screw the 12 Days of Gaming. Screw Breath of the Wild. Screw Splatoon 2. We're Let's playing Link's Awakening right now. Hey everybody, how's it going to you? And welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. You may not have seen any other Let's Play that starts episode 1 in the middle of the game, but this is a new format of Let's Playing. So, in today's episode... I'm just kidding. I wonder what that would be like to start a Let's Play in the middle of the game. Like, I remember Chuck Conrad did this one April Fool's Let's Play years back that was, I believe, Mega Man Legends, Mega Man 2, or something like that. And it was like one of the most intensely bad Let's Plays ever. It was really funny. Alright, so that's it for Link's Awakening Switch. Let's switch over to the intermission screen real quick. As I get the Game Boy version set up. Also, while I'm on the screen, I gotta say, I really want to do another Among Us stream because that was a lot of fun. So, hopefully if anybody is in the stream chat, or if anybody in general just wants to be part of an Among Us stream, that'd be fun to do sometime. Probably not today, though, because we're doing a 12 Days of Gaming thing. Maybe after 12 Days of Gaming. But anyway, yeah. Enough about that, because we'll be doing this now. And while I do that, I'm going to play some music for y'all. La 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 la! You can always tell when I have Xenoblade on the mind whenever Xenoblade music is usually the first to appear on the Gator Stream intermissions. Alright, so it's going to take a moment more to set up real quick. I'm playing around with the dual screen monitor right now. So I'm moving stuff around real quick. Alright. And let's get into the game. Plot twist, we're playing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam! Just kidding. Although I gotta say, this title screen right here for Paper Jam, mixed with the Hate Pikmin background, it's kind of funny. But anyway, let's play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Except not later already because this is no Let's Play. Ah! My... Okay, that is really, really amusing. Both my Switch and Game Boy playthroughs are in the same dungeon right now. That's amusing. Level 6 Face Shrine. Alright then. So, we'll be going over here, switching to That's Musical Thingy, and teleporting. So, if you're playing on the Switch version, playing Mambo's Mambo, we would have been able to teleport to any of the teleportation warp points, but in this version, you can only really do that you can only really teleport to this pond right here that takes you to the potion shop. So that's something that's kind of worth mentioning. Again, it's one of those many quality of life improvements from the Switch version that I kind of didn't really notice that I needed. I had mentioned before that I played Link's Awakening so many times, I don't really notice any of the problems or anything like that. And even after playing the Switch remake, I still go back to this version from time to time. I could never decide which version I like more, because both versions are absolutely incredible. Like this one, I obviously have a big, I have a big affinity for this version because of nostalgia and things like that. Even though I technically know that the Switch version is technically the better game, but yeah, I go back and forth between whether or not between which version of these games I like. So the glitch we'll be setting up is called the Doghouse glitch, and basically what this does is, for this explanation to make sense, to get you to understand, is that this game is built on a two-layer overworld. We have the above-ground overworld that has all the exterior elements, such as the mountains and the towns and things like that, and then we have the underground world, which has all these rooms, all the rooms that you'd find inside buildings, all the dungeons, all the caves, all that good stuff. Now, I'm going to explain this a little bit more in a moment, but I don't know why this is the case, but you can only really trigger this glitch after you defeat a couple enemies. 2 should be enough for what we'll be doing. I usually go for like 3 or 5 or something like that, but 2 is usually enough to get started. So we're going over this way. We'll create a restore point. And normally the hitbox for triggering going to the second overworld to go inside this building is located right here. But the hit collision on this area is just a little bit finicky, so you're able to glitch half your sprite into the area, and if you go left, you trigger that hitbox from the other side. So it takes you to the appropriate spot, but it doesn't know how to load the sprites anymore. So everything is kind of like a big jumbly mess, and now we can go inside here into the scary demon dungeon. And we can see that this area right here, it's obviously meant to be like the second dungeon. But all the graphics are messed up because we didn't enter the area properly. If you're playing this on an original Game Boy cartridge, don't. Don't do this glitch because it can really damage your save file and even your entire cartridge as a whole. So try not to do that if you're playing on a actual cartridge or anything like that. If you're playing on a virtual console release, so like I am right now, then you should be okay. But now we can go up here. And we're basically just going to be spending our time exploring the scary demon dungeon. I know it has an official name, but I call it the scary demon dungeon because it's fun. Now there's one specific area that I want to trigger. That is a Caesar cuckoo. Okay, that is kind of freaky. Okay, a word of advice, if you have epilepsy, you may not want to do this because things like that can trigger where there's a lot of flashing graphics and things like that, which could be really hard on the eyes. So you definitely want to avoid that if you can. Okay, that looks like one of the rooms of the falling blocks. You dash through the Pegasus boots. Alright, well, we'll keep going. I think we reached the edge of the overworld because after you get to that point... Oh, no, never mind. How far can we go? I'm curious now. I'm curious, so now I have to know the answer. Okay, this is repeating now. Now we're inside this area. This is the Frog House music. That's not supposed to trigger here. Okay, I have to know. Can we get Tatanka's song to spawn in this place? That'd be amazing if we could. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like this for a moment. This is amazing. I've never seen it trigger like this. I've never seen audio glitches appear in the doghouse glitch. This is pretty great. That's what I absolutely love about this glitch. I'm always finding something new about it. So I believe we gotta wait around here for about 2 minutes or so. So hopefully that won't take too long. Now, if we were playing on a console or something like that, then I will take this time to mute the microphone. But can't exactly do that because I don't have a good audio setup for the 3DS. Because capturing 3DS audio is dumb. This song is so catchy. How much longer is it going to take to trigger? I'm noticing that the loop is a bit more obvious in this place than it usually is. Not sure if that's always the case, though. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's gonna trigger. Maybe we'll give it a little bit longer. But I would like to move on to other things. Alright, I give up. The music is still going? It's still going! Okay, I thought it was gonna stop after we went to the other screen. I was not expecting that. Okay. That's interesting. And kind of scary. Did we loop back around? Yeah, we looped back around. Yeah, we were here already. And this music is still here.
This is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of scary. Ah, that's lava. Ah, that was a scary demon noise. Whew. Alright. Well, at least now we know what happens if you reach the edge of the world. It looks like it loops back around and stuff like that. Wait. What's that sprite? Okay. Seriously, what is this right here? It looks like a demon rabbit. What is that? I've never seen that before. Okay, let's get out of here before the demon rabbit destroys us. That's a glitchy piranha plant sprite. That's kind of scary. This entire thing is demonic. Okay, so... Oh my goodness! A cuckoo with a sword! It's a cuckoo with a sword! Man, that's like in Aladdin when he's like, he's got a sword! Yo, idiots. We all have swords. We destroyed a cuckoo! Yay! All shall fear me! Yeah, that was certainly a thing. And now we can see a couple Goombas and Crazy Tracy's disembodied head. This music is making it just all the more terrifying. Alright, let's go over here for a little bit. Now, one thing that I would like to try a little bit later, I would like to see if I can do a speedrunning attempt. Because this glitch can make it possible to beat the game in like 6 minutes. I want to see if I can do that. That is fire. Okay, I want to see if I can get back up here. Okay, that's not going to work. We only have like a quarter of heart left. So it doesn't look like staircases are going to work for us. We probably can leave this area if we have... if we go through like a door or something like that. Those are the demon rabbits again. This is really creepy, wow. That's the button that I made to push. Alright. That is freaky. Oh my goodness. Oh no, demon numbers! Demon numbers! Demon numbers! Demon numbers! I wasn't expecting to say that today. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that Tatako's song is just not going to appear at this point. Because we've already been here for a little while and it hasn't done a whole lot. Okay, I've seen the lighting glitch in this area, but I've never seen it happen like this. This is a fairy. And the lighting is way too dark to read. Bye, fairy. What is that saying? I can't read that. The text isn't appearing. Oh, the music stopped. Oh well. I was getting kind of sick of that song anyway, so it's not that big of a loss. How much further can we go? I don't think I'm gonna be able to top this layout for a while, because this has everything. It has scary demon stuff, it has glitchy music and things like that. This has been a really good run so far. I'm really happy with how we got things started this time around. Ah, wait! That hurt my feelings. That's not the right button. There we go. These aren't moving. Oh, it's not letting me go through that. Well, okay. I see how it is. Alright. Owie. Are those the punching guys? That's the punching guy from the 8th dungeon. That's pretty amusing. Alright, we'll explore just a little bit more of this area. There's one area that I really want to find. That is very creepy right there. Okay, that's not what I was looking for, but we can actually walk into the area where the item inventory is stored, because the menu for the item inventory is also spawned on the second overworld. And it is possible to get to this area. The game will crash like this, but it is something that's pretty interesting. Okay, it's not going to let us leave. Well, luckily, that's what we have restore points for. So we did quite a bit of exploring on the right side of that, so now let's do the same for the left. And the stupid dogs are barking again. Oh boy, isn't that great background noise? And the lighting has already changed. Well, now it's back to normal. And now it's back to this. Okay, we already saw a bunch of scary demon lights, and the game froze already. That's always a pleasant experience. Alright, so let's continue on this way. Not to avoid that guy. Continue on over here. Owie! I was kind of disappointed that this glitch didn't return in any form in the Switch version. But I can understand why. That game was made by 3D models instead of sprites, so it makes a lot more sense. But I kind of wish that there was like some kind of reference to this glitch, because it is a pretty famous one. I believe this even appears in the original version. So that's kind of amusing and stuff like that. Alright, let's keep going down. We have those jumping things. Now we go this way. Ah, wait. I don't like it when things hurt me. That's like on The Simpsons when Homer is all like, stop pummeling me, it really hurts. Alright. Continue on over here. Ah, gravity is increasing on me. Alright, so continuing on over here. This is scary, oh my goodness. It's always really, really freaky whenever you come across one of those skeleton rooms. What'd I do? What did that do? Can you get that to trigger again? That's amusing. I wouldn't think that they would have the buttons programmed in this area. But yeah, that's pretty amusing. Yeah, the disembodied horse heads right there. That's always a pleasant experience, except it's not. And I have to sneeze. I apologize in advance. I'll mute the microphone if I do have to sneeze. So one thing that I really want to know is there's a room in the 7th dungeon where it's spawned there and it'll always be there. And we glitched the game again. There's a glitch in that dungeon where you can technically It's always there, but because of the way the dungeon is laid out, you can't ever actually access it. So, I want to know if it's possible to get that to spawn. Now, my 3DS is almost dying, so we're going to probably have to call it quits on the stream pretty soon. But there is one more thing that I would like to try. I'm just going to look up real quick what the layout of this is, because I know that it is possible to get to the end game using this glitch. So, let's take care of this. While I go through this, how are you guys doing today? Are you having a nice day? Did you drink plenty of eggnog? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my usual tangents about stuff like that. Alright, I pulled up the video, so let's see if I can do this. I mean, I didn't pull up a video. I'm doing all of this based off of memory, obviously. Alright, so looks like we want to do... Okay, that didn't work. Okay, I don't know how to get this to trigger, but to get the glitch to work, you have to get the... You go into the area, and then like there's like some way you can trigger another door opening thing. I think maybe I can do that if I defeat different enemies, so let's try that instead. So let's try resetting the map, going back outside, and then leaving, and then going back and defeating some more enemies. In the video, they defeated 2 enemies, so let's see if that'll work for this as well. Also, you may have noticed that there are apple trees in the Switch version. Those were brand new to the remake. They were never in the original game. Okay, yeah, it didn't work. Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to call quits for the stream. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's episode of the 12 Days of Gaming 2020. So, thank you all so much for watching. Tomorrow is going to be a more traditional video. Tomorrow's video will be a pre-recorded episode for Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. Now, even though Future Connected is an epilogue that takes place a year after the main story of Xenoblade Chronicles, that video will not contain any story spoilers whatsoever. Just know that if you do play the game for yourself, Future Connected will have story spoilers right off the bat if you start playing it right away. So make sure you at least know what the main story of the Xenoblade is before you jump into Future Connected. But beyond that, we also have episodes for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate coming out pretty soon, as well as Animal Crossing New Horizons, and a special Mystery 13th episode that's going to be super amazing and epic and awesome. And in January, Let's Play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will return alongside Splatoon 2 Splatfest and LP33. That's going to be pretty fun indeed, and I don't mean for that to rhyme. So thank you all so much for watching today's episode of the 12 Days of Gaming, and until next time, leave the gear to you. Oh yeah.